Hey, this is Elyse Slaine, and you are watching the very hot Dominic Natty Show.
Yes. Does it pay that much to be on reality TV, or is it not what people
Well,
would
it does
expect?
eventually, but no, not as, I mean, I was a friend of the show, or, pretty quickly turned into an ex-friend, so to speak, of the show. Doesn't pay that much. No.
Why are you no longer on The Real Housewives of New York City? Like, did you tell them you don't want to be on the show anymore?
So Ramona and I used to be good friends and had a huge falling out, really off the show, but it bled onto the show. And there was really just no place to go with that. And in addition to that, I had a really hard time signing their contract, just even being a friend of the show. So I didn't sign it until 2 days before the show was airing, a very watered down version of it. So it would have been really tough for me to commit to the kind of stuff that these girls commit to. Right? This show is their lives, right? To me, this was just sort of a thing I stumbled on. I could say, I hate the color blue. Oh, hey, Dom, how you doing? And they could edit it for me to say, I hate Dom.
Right. Okay. So, and that's how those contracts work. So they're basically saying we can edit it for you to say whatever we want, and you can't do anything about it. Right? Is that
right? We can humiliate you. We can disparage you. We can basically ruin your life. But hey, there's nothing you can do about it.
How do you feel that you were edited on the show? Are you happy with it, or do you feel like they twisted things around?
They twisted some things around, right? I mean, there was a scene where I called Sonia an accessory, and they cut out a lot that went, before and after that to make me look like a real, bitch.
And do you feel like that they intensified this, this issue that you have with Ramona? Do you feel like they made it worse, or maybe it wouldn't have been as bad? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I mean, the producers definitely try to get you to, the producers were definitely poking the tiger, and they would want me. Ramona was behaving badly. There's no way around that. She was behaving badly. I would go as far as to use the letter C. But I was letting it go because to me, this was really her gig, and the producers kept saying, you got to call her out. You got to call her out. And I really wasn't willing to call her out until I literally reached my breaking point with her. And when I lost it on her, it was very real.
So Ramona was being a cunt, right? And then you're saying that I could say it. I'll say it. Yeah. So in the producers were trying to egg you on, and like to confront. So they threw fuel on this fire.
Right. Absolutely. And the other girls also try to, so Sonia was playing one side against the other. So while Sonia was pushing me to say, Sonia was saying, Ramona's treating you so badly. Oh my God, she treats you like a second-class citizen. And then she'll go on, Watch What Happens Live, and say, oh yeah, Elyse really didn't have Ramona's back.
Okay. I got you. Okay. So when did Sonia say that? Was Sonia saying that off camera? And then
Off camera, on camera, but yeah.
So she was
Dorinda would call me on a regular basis, and she'd be like, wow, Ramona's really abusive to you. And the girls and everybody wanted me to basically call her out at her birthday party, and I wouldn't do it. I said, I'm not going to ruin her birthday party. I'm not going to call her out. But, I did get to a point where she just was treating me so badly, and I lost it.
So do you think that Sonia is two-faced, basically?
Absolutely. Oh, yeah, she definitely was. I mean, look, I think she's mean-spirited? No. But, yeah, she could be a manipulator. She's been doing the show a long time. And there's a certain personality that goes along with doing that show, or with any of these reality shows, right? I mean, my nature is not to fight, right? I mean, I always sort of want to try to find resolution. And I know the show is sort of about conflict and resolution, but the fights, I mean, if you had in real life a friend that you fought with on this level, or that basically used everything that they possibly can against you to humiliate you, would you ever have anything to do with that person again? No,
No.
but on the
Yeah.
show, you're forced into this situation all the time. So Leah and I are very close, and I wonder if I was still on the show, what would happen with that? I would be horrified if Leah ever betrayed, any of my confidences or anything on the show. So it's really not conducive to real friendships.
Is Dorinda also manipulative and two-faced?
Um, I'm reading comments that people are making. I love the people on here. Is Dorinda two-faced?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that, no, I don't know if I'd call her two-faced, but Dorinda also knows how to play the game, and Dorinda does what works for her.
Have you spoken to Ramona at all, like since filming ended?
Last February, at the end of last February, she actually wanted to make up with me, and I didn't want to hear it. I mean, things had gotten so bad. I needed more time, and I figured we would probably talk by the summer because we have so many friends in common. But by the time the summer rolled around, she had spoken so badly behind my back that things just went from bad to worse.
So
she still talks behind my back. It's sort of amazing.
How did she try to make up with you? Did she try to call you or?
No, we ran into one another. It was at a friend's mother's funeral, and she came over and she gave me a hug and she told me she wanted to talk. And she reached out to me the next day to talk, and I had a really bad headache that day, and I couldn't deal with it. And I said, we'll figure out a time to talk. And then I just never followed up with it. But
okay.
It's still, when I did all these interviews and, with people and Us Weekly and stuff, I never put her down. I always built her up. And the first chance she did, she had was, with the press, she was shitting all over me. So I sent her a text and I was like, really? I always took the high road. I said, but we could do this your way too. And then we got really ugly on social media.
Would you consider some of the Real Housewives of New York City alcoholics? I mean, do they have drinking, like a real drinking, like a serious drinking problem?
Absolutely.
Which ones? Who do you think?
Well, I mean, whatever you're watching on the show, I mean, it's obvious. You could guess which ones have the drinking problem.
Would you say it's Dorinda?
I don't think Dorinda's drinking now, but I think on the show she was definitely drinking a lot. Luann was supposedly sober, but that didn't last very long. And Sonia, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now, Ramona is also doing a lot of maskless traveling. Do you think that she's putting her co-stars at risk for COVID?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So it's irresponsible of her to be traveling to these islands and do all this traveling without a mask and to be traveling at all. So you think that she's a risk? Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay. Yeah. Now, if you were still on the show, would that be something that you would have told the producers, like, hey, she needs to quarantine, or would that be something you would have addressed?
Oh, absolutely.
Ramona also looks very different in pics this year. Like, do you think that she got any plastic surgery? She looks very different.
Well, what do you think? You think it's really like Ageless by Ramona that did that to her, or Ageless by Scalpel?
Ageless by Scalpel. So what do you think she got done?
I don't know. I mean, I think she did the whole thing. I don't know. Do you know how bored I am talking about Ramona?
Do you stay in contact with Sonia? Are you guys friends or not?
No, I was friends with Sonia, but no, I've not stayed in contact with Sonia. I'm in contact with Leah and Dorinda.
Leah and Dorinda. Okay. Now, Dorinda was also fired from Roni. Do you have any idea why she was fired? And do you think this is the right move for the show?
I think that I think Ramona had a lot to do with Dorinda being off the show. Do I think it was the right move? I wouldn't be surprised if they brought her back.
What about Bethany Frankel? Have you had a lot of experience with her, and what has your experience been with her, if any?
I introduced Bethany Frankel to Jill Zarin before the show started. I go way back with Bethany.
Okay.
Yeah. So when Bethany was auditioning for Martha Stewart Apprentice. She actually filmed in my kitchen. So I go
Really?
way back with her. Really? I
Oh.
wouldn't lie.
No, I believe it. Yeah, I didn't know that. That's very interesting. That's awesome. So are you guys still friends today?
No, we've lost touch.
Do you follow Teresa and Joe Giudice? And what are your thoughts on their breakup and new relationships?
I watched New Jersey for the first time because Jackie and I have become friendly. So the first time I ever watched it was the premiere this season. And I thought Teresa was disgusting the way she behaved at Jackie's birthday party for her husband. I think everyone except Jackie scares me on that show.
Should Barbara Kay be a full-time New York City housewife? Thoughts on Barbara Kay?
Barbara definitely should not be a full-time housewife because she has so much more going on with her construction company. She's a really sweet, non-assuming person. I've gotten pretty close with her. And she's not the type that wants to like take out the knives and just really go for the juggler. So no, I don't see her being full-time on the show.
Does she have an opinion on the two-state solution that is in the Middle East?
For the record, and this won't be a popular thing to say, and probably I'll lose half my followers, I'm a Zionist.
Are vacations paid for by production? That's from Pinklets84.
Yes.
If you could get any New York City-based celebrity on Roni, who would it be?
Probably like a Sarah Jessica Parker or something.
How has the sex been during quarantine? Have you been more sexually active? Has it been better or worse?
Like we're like, newlyweds still, only married 2.5 years. So that we've been together now a total of 7 years. But I don't think quarantine has really made a difference. The only thing that makes a difference is when I'm trading cryptos at night, I make him just take me from behind so I can watch the screen. No, I'm kidding.
It's got to be doggy style so you can work. Yeah.
He's not sure, and I'm like really like, oh yes, if it's him with money.
That's right. He's proud of himself, but it was really just a good trade.
Yeah. I'm like, oh my God, it's going down. He's like, no, I'm not. I'm like,
all right, well, Elyse, I'm going to be in New York in a month. So would you hook me up with any of your friends? Or
yeah,
do you
well,
think that
we got a party with me. And I actually have quite a few big boobied friends that I think would use you for a night and then throw you away.
That's all I want.